Yes, and Brad Scott, the coach of the North Melbourne, joining us in the post-match. Brad, you're still alive in 2018. Is it pride? Is it satisfaction? Is it relief? What does this one mean?
I think it's more pride. Look, I know the stakes involved in terms of ladder positions, and we're well aware of that. I mean, we're not hiding away from it, but the reality is our focus was on the sort of footy we wanted to play, and we think that West Coast quite rightly deserved their ladder position this year, and while they lost a couple of guys before the game, they've got A-graders across every line, and we knew it was going to be a real challenge. So our focus was on playing our best footy and really what that looked like, and I thought in large parts today it looked pretty good.
I think at the start of the year, Brad, you looked at the list and you wanted to see some of these young kids take some big steps. We talked a lot about Anderson at the start of the year. We saw Ahern have a breakout game today. Walker, his first opportunity. What have you made of the list and the list build?
Yeah, we made a very obvious statement at the start of the year that we would need to build our midfield. I mean, we're very confident, obviously, in Ben Brown in the forward half, and Mason Wood and Zeeble and Waite and those guys, and pretty similar down the other end with Thompson and Tarrant. They've done it for a long period of time, but we really needed to build our midfield, and that was part of the reason why we pushed Zeeble forward, so that we could expose Jen Anderson and Paul Ahern and Jai Simpkin, and they've held up their end of the bargain, and today was a great example because Anderson, Ahern, Simpkin were just fantastic, along with the mainstays of guys like Higgins and Cunnington.
Round 20 next week. We've got to put this one away first, obviously, but do you start talking finals? Is it a real thing, a real conversation for the playing group and yourself to show that maturity that you can handle those conversations, still get on and play good football?
Yeah, look, I think the players are well aware of it, and they're well aware of the stakes, and they're probably doing the calculations like most people out there as to what can happen from week to week. But again, it sounds cliched, and it is, but the reality is we need to focus on the process that's going to enable us to play our best footy. And if we get that right, the wins will come. The big risk is you start thinking about things on the horizon and you take your eye off the ball in the short term. So I understand the question. I think it's valid, and we are aware of it. But true professionals are able to focus on what's in front of them right at this given moment.
Having said that, I guess your last 4 games are against teams that are outside the 8. Does that help your cause?
Oh, well, I suppose you'd probably rather play teams that are outside than inside. But, I think the other side of it is, we see, Brisbane beat Hawthorn. We see, Gold Coast beat Sydney. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen over the next few weeks. So, we can only play the opposition that's put in front of us. But, Brisbane, I know they had a tough game against Geelong, but they've been in great form the last 3 weeks. So, on sides like that mathematically can't play finals, they're a dangerous opponent because, they roll the dice and really, in a sense, they haven't got too much to lose.
Maybe as I speak, as a Kangaroo supporter, I probably watch a lot closer, Brad, but they're seriously tough, some of these boys in the midfield. I mean, when they bring their A game, contested football, clearances, regardless of what the scoreboard tells, you're always proud of how they play. How do you see it in the coach's box?
Yeah, we love it. I mean, we build our game on that foundation, that we have that toughness, and it was a risk at the start of the year pushing Zeeble forward for large parts of the game because he's our heart and soul. He's our captain. But, the guys love playing with Jen Anderson. He's just so hard and tough. Jai Simpkin loves the contest. He loves the physical nature of the game. So it's made my job as coach a lot easier to be able to make our forward line more competitive with Jack up there and not lose anything in terms of hardness in the midfield.
Great scenes in Hobart today. Good luck for the next month.
Great. Thanks very much.